is Shreya, and I'm the founder of Momoa, and I'm here with.
AneliMonster.
So it is so great to sit with you, Annalie, because we interviewed your sister, your twin sister, last week,
That
and
is true.
was a huge LPS collector. And now, fun fact about you is that you own every Monster High doll that's been publicly released, every
True,
single one. So
yes.
how many dolls is
hmm
that, do you think?
Um, I don't really keep track of how many there is exactly, but I believe it's around 900. Yeah, 900 dolls.
900. That's an
hmm
amazing amount. So, getting into that,
Yeah.
so what got you started in collecting Monster High specifically?
What got me started? I mean, the first ever dolls my sister and I got were Cleon Deuce Basic, so signature Cleon Deuce, and we got them on Christmas in 2010. These
Mhm.
were our first Monster High fashion dolls. Before that, we actually were introduced by the franchise to the franchise by other items, Monster High merchandise items, and these were the Monster High Friends plushies. So these were actually our first ever Monster High items, these plush dolls, and we loved them so much. So then we searched for Monster High on the internet, and we really wanted to know, is there more? And we stumbled upon many doll reviews, and yeah, we immediately fell in love with the dolls, and we asked our parents for Christmas that same year if we could get dolls of the franchise, and we got Cleo and Deuce. These two were also a two-pack, which is amazing for twins. I mean, we could share the dolls, and the funny thing is, we immediately knew who which doll we wanted. So my sister immediately grabbed Deuce, and I went straight for Cleo. We didn't have to argue about anything, and after after learning about Monster High as children, we just dived into this world, and we not only were amazed by the dolls, but also amazed by the episodes and the characters. So we just fell in love with everything in regards to the franchise. So yeah, that's how everything came about and how our love for Monster High started. I mean, how could you not love Monster High? Like, how can you not love it? Yeah, it's so amazing. hmm
So, speaking of that, do you have a doll or a character in Monster High that you specifically resonate with or really love?
Yes, I do. I actually have a specific character. It's the main character, Frankie Stein.
Yes.
I know it's a basic answer, and my sister, she loves Draculaura. But Frankie is just so amazing because such a she is just a monster who includes everyone. She's there for her friends, and she sees them as part of her own family. She is super kind and adventurous, so that is what I love about Frankie.
That's a great option. That's a great option. I love Frankie too. Um, Now the process of getting to 900 dolls. So how did you find some of these rare or hard dolls to find? Because there are some that I've only know like are limited, maybe like 10 in production or something. So how do you get the more rarer dolls?
Yeah. So I have to mention, I didn't find them all on my own. I had the support of my twin sister, LPS Astra, and also of my family and a very dear friend to us from the US. His name is Ian. He also helped us with a lot of doll releases, especially for the second generation of Monster High, because the second generation was so hard to find here in Germany. They were even harder to find than some of the rare ones. But yeah, the rare ones we just bought on, from resellers on eBay. And some of them we also got on Amazon. For instance, the Zombie Gaga doll, which is a very valuable doll nowadays, and goes up for, I believe, I don't want to say anything wrong, but I believe 400, $500 nowadays. We found her for $50 retail price on Amazon back then. So yeah, we collect for a long period of time now. We started in 2010. There, our love for Monster High was, it our love for Monster High arose, and then we just started. We just continued growing our collections, and we never got rid of any dolls. So um we never sold any of our childhood dolls. That's why we also still have some of our childhood dolls in our collection.
That's amazing. Awesome.
Yeah.
So I'm actually gonna go ahead and share your Momoa profile so that way we
Yes.
can dive right into it. So first, how has being on Momoa been for you? What has your experience been like so far?
I I have no complaints at all. Momoa is amazing. I love how everyone shares their memories. That's what I really love getting into. And I really like hearing about stories other collectors have to tell. And mm, it's been great so far. I had no issues with uploading anything or stuff. Something I do have to mention is that I wanted to search for people, and I don't really know where to do that.
So
Because
that's something that's coming out. We're building out a whole search feature that will
yeah,
include for searching on specific dolls, specific, action figures, and searching for other people. So we're in definitely that's been a big request that we're going to get into. So I'm
yeah,
super glad that you enjoy that, and I too love reading the memories and stories of like other collectors and how they got their first
hmm,
dolls. So speaking of, you actually have your childhood dolls here. This is so amazing
yeah.
because this specific Draculaura, I think it's is it Vampire Bite or Snow? Let me just make sure.
Snowbite,
Oh,
yeah.
Scarily
It's
Ever After, yeah.
Scarily Ever After Snowbite Draculaura, yeah.
I
Hmm.
love the green, but do you want to tell more about how you got her from your grandmother?
Yeah, so I actually got this doll and also the other two from the line on Christmas from my grandmother. It was a Christmas a couple of years ago that I was still a child when I got her. Um, and I remember getting them from my grandmother, and she just reminds me of her because she recently passed away. But
Oh.
just having her is super super nice, and yeah, makes me kind of emotional sometimes and nostalgic as well. Just reminds me of the great memories I share with my grandma, and I also remember when I unwrapped them. So when I tore apart the wrapping paper, I saw the beautiful packaging, and I was like, I can't take them out of box. I will keep them in box forever. But then my parents were like, but you do know that you can't play with them then, right? And I was like, oh, okay, then I have to unbox them, because as a child I obviously wanted to play with such a beautiful doll, and the other two are also amazing.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So that's great. I really love that. And seeing these dolls in such great condition after, how long you've had them is so cool. I'm assuming this is the original Cleo
Yeah.
and Deuce 2 pack that you had with your sister.
Yeah. They
That's
are
so
also gold
great.
elastic. Hmm.
That's
Gold
good.
elastic Gold elastic is something that collectors are very fond of, and collectors really search for that, because these dolls have super specific face screenings, which a lot of collectors are a fan of, and me included. I love the gold elastic dolls. I'm saying Claudine gold elastic, I believe. Yeah, but I count them as variants, so that's that.
That's
Yeah.
amazing. And then going into the, valuable and rare dolls, one thing that really stood out to me is I have never seen these dolls before, Candy or Circa Magica. So do you want to tell us more about them?
Yeah, I would love to. So, Candy and Suka Magica are PTM idols, meaning these were given to Indonesian Mattel employees when Mattel had its birthday. So to factory employees of the Mattel like company. So when Mattel had its birthday, or when Mattel has its birthday, they give out certain dolls, and these dolls are one of a kind, only created for employees, and these two were two of them. Sometimes they also create Barbie dolls, but in 2012 and 13, I believe, they gifted these Monster High, or also I believe Super Magica is kind of Ever After High, Monster High inspired, but Candy is definitely a Monster High normie for sure. Um, so yeah, these are the two, and they were actually impossible for the public to get, but we had our connections and we could buy them from a lovely employee. Yeah.
That's amazing. Now that's I've never seen them, so it's so cool getting into
Yeah.
like, some of the unknown dolls. And speaking of, you also
Mm-hmm.
have a collection here called underrated dolls.
Yeah.
Um, are these any of these G2? I feel like some of these might be G2, unless I'm
Yes. Yeah.
mistaken.
Yeah. Actually, the ones on the top, at the top, Laguna Blue, Frankenstein, and Draculaura, all of the inbox dolls, they are G2. Um, they are just underrated. I feel like G2 in general is overhated and underrated. Um, they are still super beautiful. The Draculaura and Frankie, especially, they were super hard to find. And don't search for a listing for them. I believe you can't find any listing for them nowadays. We also paid a pretty penny for them.
Yeah, I can only imagine.
Oh.
And so that's so cool. And then you also have Fearfully Feisty, which again, this is another doll that didn't have to
Mhm.
do it. But what I love about, seeing this is like seeing other users like Juno saying like, "Oh, I used to have when I was younger." So it's always like talking about the memories you that are brought up when you see other people's
Mhm.
collections.
Yes, totally. I love that too. Mhm.
And so this is a very cool and unique doll. So this is such a great overview. I know it's so exciting to see this on your profile. What other things do you collect other than Monster High dolls?
Yeah. So, my main focus is on Monster High, but luckily I have a twin sister, and my twin sister always liked other franchises as well. And she introduced me to many different franchises. For instance, Ever After High, Littlest Pet Shop, of course. She's known for her Littlest Pet Shop
Yeah.
like persona on the internet, but she also collects other doll franchises like Ever After High, of course, because Ever After High is like the sister universe of Monster High. And then we also have Bratz, Barbie, Wings Club, also Rainbow High and Shadow High. I wasn't a fan of this franchise at the beginning, but she was like she brought me closer to it, and we watched the episodes and the series on YouTube. And yeah, I fell in love with Rainbow and Shadow High as well. So it's amazing. I mean, without my twin sister, I would say I wouldn't even have considered collecting other franchises. I would only collect Monster High. But luckily, I have a twin sister by my side who is just so open-minded and is fascinated by so many different things that I'm also kind of part of that. And we share our collections. We love to share everything. We always grew up with that sharing mindset. Um, we never were like, oh, this is my doll and this is your doll. So yeah.
That's so beautiful and a great way to kind of wrap up the interview talking about, the power of collecting, but the power of sharing,